Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Star Wars Age of Republic special. This is three different writers, a bunch of different artists putting this together. So let's get right into this bad boy. Mace Windu in The Weapon by Ethan Sachs, Paulo Villanella, and Eric Arcianega. Blah. Asajj Ventress and Sisters, Jody Hauser, Carlos Gomez, Dono Sanchez-Almara, and 501 Plus One, featuring Captain Rex and Jar Jar effing Binks by Mark Guggenheim, Casper Wingard, and Chris Peter. VC's Travis Lanham did all the letters. All right, so, and there's a lot of variant covers. The main cover artist is Rod Reese. So, all three of these were really good stories. Yes, even the stupid freaking Jar Jar Binks one. I think Captain Rex made it perfect because he was cool. He was cool in all of this. Like, once again, you got a stupid freaking Jedi, just he's almost nameless. You know, saying this moron Jedi there is like, I can take care of all these things, but well, freaking Senator Jar Jar Binks is there, so damn it. Immediately leadership falls to him, right? And Captain Rex is like, oh, this is ridiculous. But he decides to not follow the chain of command because, you know, that would be stupid. And when you have someone who's in charge who's really stupid, you don't follow the stupid person. In fact, sometimes you even frag them. Former military, brah, you don't like it, don't join the damn military. It could happen to you. So the point is, this, you know what? Remind me, and I'll tell you an army joke, an army versus Marine joke at the end of this. So, the Mace Windu one was beautiful and sad and explanative in regards to the failure of the old Jedi Order back in the Age of the Republic. Mace Windu goes in to stop this warlord who recruits child soldiers, and he complains about he voices his complaints about, and is disgust, obviously, about recruiting child soldiers. Like, you take these kids when they're young and you bring them to some, you know, they're brought to this warlord who exploits them for their own purposes. You also just perfectly described the old Jedi Order. I want you to really think about that. Oh, you have a problem with the word warlord? There's also commentary in semantic use in here earlier also, where they say, you know, you're working, you know, you're a terrorist. No, I'm a freedom fighter. You see how words can change someone's entire ideology? When you're still talking about the same thing, you should be in school. Why school? Why school? Another institute that's gonna, you know, like what is school? Sorry, what is public school? Including charter schools. What are these schools except places to teach kids to be good workers? Where are we teaching leadership at? Oh, you got to join the military for that. Or be the kid who doesn't do well in school because you're not good at following orders. You're good at giving them. Yeah, there's all sorts of different types in the world, and breeding people to do things. That's like the idea of breeding kings, which would remind me of the Bush and Clinton families. Anyway, enough of the political commentary, because this first story brings so much political thought into it. Ethan Sachs is freaking awesome at this, man. I loved how much I hated this comic book. You know, like this story, and I didn't hate it because it was a bad read. It was an amazing read. That being said, it just brought out so much commentary on the state of things. It's perfect. I did like the idea that they actually broke down Mace's lightsaber, and you knew how the story was going to end. You knew exactly how the story is going to end. Not a single person who knows anything about the Jedi went into this and said, I wonder how this story is going to end. You knew exactly how Mace was going to get out of this. Just done. Also, they talk about Chancellor Valerium. I love that just one little mention of one person and their title indicates immediately almost exactly where you are in the timeline. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent job of establishing the chronology without actually having to, you know, put down a stupid timeline. Yes, like excellent work in this, man. Sachs did a great job. Also, immediately I was thinking to myself, you know, if somebody, a non-Jedi, broke down a lightsaber, the lightsaber is going to blow up. Well, they didn't actually break down the housing where the crystal was. Okay, if we would have discovered that, because this was my only thought, if Mace Windu would have the crystal on him, that would make sense. He broke down the lightsaber in advance, so when they captured him, he let them capture him. What do you call it? He would just simply re-establish the lightsaber, reconstitute it, and put the crystal in, which was in his pocket or something like that, in some hidden, area in his robes. But no, the lightsaber was actually still inside of the lightsaber crystal was still inside the lightsaber. But they didn't break down the lightsaber assembly. That would have caused the damn thing to blow the hell up. So it's a lot of it's headcanon, but still it works. It works within the confines of the rules. But the end of this and what happens to the little freedom fighter girl is, once again, it's so telling of the failures of the Jedi Order. Why exactly was it that Anakin Skywalker was able to bring balance to the Force? Well, because he allowed it so that he would be killed and that everybody would be killed except for one Jedi. One Jedi who was not trained by either the Sith or the Jedi Order. It could just be a regular Qui-Gon Jinn-like Jedi who follows the Force as opposed to established rules made by people. Yeah, I loved that. Love that. And I love that this comic book, that this particular story expounds on that so well. The next thing I'm going to say is that the Asajj Ventress story is probably going to lead into an Ahsoka story, which is awesome. And it's Jodie Houser. And I've already talked about how much I love Jodie Houser's work on Star Wars. She is irreplaceable as far as I'm concerned right now. And if you're going to continue on with an ongoing Star Wars story, you should have Jodie Houser doing it. 2, which is important to follow rule 1, I will then continue reading a Star Wars story. You can start with issue 56 or whatever they left off with, which I wasn't reading, or you could just say, F it, start with issue 1, I'll jump on from there. I will review every single issue, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love each and every one of them. That being said, Ethan Sachs did a pretty damn good job on the Mace Windu story also. Like, this guy, you want to have a second Star Wars writer doing Star Wars blah, 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 miniseries, whatever. You want to have a second Star Wars run co-aligned with the Jodie Houser run one? Have Mr. Sachs on it, because the guy understands the Jedi Order. Instead of just having general Star Wars, have Star Wars the Jedi Order, because Sachs has this down, man. I love this. This was a good book. I saw a tweet by somebody, I don't remember who it was, but they hit the nail right on the head. They said, if you thought this was the one to sleep on, you'd be wrong. And he would be right. This was a fantastic comic book, man. 3 really awesome stories in here. Fantastic. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. The review is glowing enough about the comic book. All right. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.